how this works. So this is having a conversation on the doorstep. And what it's going to do is I'm going to have a conversation with whoever opens the door from my cool data set of personas. And then at the end, we can say get feedback, and it will tell me how good I am at the doorstep. So I'm saying, hi, I'm Hannah from the local Labour Party. And then the bot will come back with, hello, what can I do for you? Do you know there is an election? Who will you be voting for? I'm going to do quite a bad conversation. Obviously, I'm a very good door knocker. Who will you be voting for? Okay, I usually vote for the Conservative Party. Things aren't going very well. Going very well. Is that still the case? I'm feeling a bit uncertain this time. Yes, I'm looking for a sincere connection to family values and a clear plan for improving education. As you can see, some of these personas need a little bit of work to sound less like a segment. Well, Labour has many plans for education. Including, anybody name a Labour policy on education? I'm a bit blank. Pardon? Including, I feel like this is going to piss them off. VAT for private schools. To invest in our school system. Okay, let's see how we react. That does sound interesting. Can you tell me more about Labour's stance on it? We love families. We are there for hard-working families. That does resonate with me. Well, this compassion-driven plan for improving education. God, okay. Sure, you can check out our website. Let's hope it's on there. Check out our website. Do you think you'll vote Labour? Vote Labour then and give us a chance. It's terrible. And give us a chance. I'll definitely take a look. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Have a great day. I am making this conversation bad, but you can take more time over it. Okay. You're welcome. Have a good day too. And then what you can do is say get feedback, and what it will do is take this conversation, put it through ChatGPT, and give me some feedback. Oh, this was Sarah. This was a woman, not a man. Okay, so I did well. So I asked open questions. That's good. I actively listened and paraphrased. We love families, not hard-working families. One of the things I did poorly, I didn't address the specific concerns raised by Sarah regarding family values and education, and instead I provided generic information about Labour's plans for education. Fair point. 2, I missed an opportunity to establish a stronger emotional connection with Sarah by not delving deeper into Labour's compassion-driven plan for education and family values. I get 3 roses out of 10. So, as you can see, this is quite fun. And there does need to be a little bit of work on the prompting, but essentially it's having a doorstep conversation online and then giving you feedback. And the feedback was drawn from like best practice on campaigning. I also wrote like 20 sample conversations, which were examples of good conversations on the doorstep. So it's using that database to like evaluate this conversation. So we have we haven't really trained it, but ideally you would do some like extra training to like make it even better. But yeah, I could only be bothered to write up 20 conversations that were good. But yeah, it's pretty good. It also takes some of the guidance from Labour on persuasive conversations and some of the stuff around door knocking, and it's using that as well as a reference point. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun making this with Peyman. Peyman obviously did all the technical stuff, and I just had fun making personas. But this is another campaign lab project. So any questions? Oh, loads.
Are you going to make it public?
Richard? Pardon?
When are you going to make it public?
When are we going to make it public? I don't know, we need to think about it. Hopefully soon. I mean, I think it's good for people just generally to learn about how to be on the door. But I think we might want to iron out some of the segment sounding bits, which I think we can with the prompting. Again, so much of this when you're dealing with large language models is about the prompting, it's not necessarily about the coding. So getting that right, and as Ricky said before. Any other questions? Yes, there, and then Rini.
Can we have voice input?
Yes, that would be cool. I think, Alex, you were thinking about voice stuff at one point. So maybe Alex will build voice into this. You never know. Rini?
I just wanted to say, this is fantastic. I love it. And,
Great.
You can see it as, a coaching tool for people, especially first-time door knockers who may not feel so confident. And in terms of, what are the key messages? We talked about earlier on hyper-local. So what things do the candidates want to make sure that every door knocker gets out for that specific area? So.
Definitely. I think if you were going to build this further, you'd start to build in like local scripts. And the other thing we wanted to try and do is actually have a drop down. We could choose what constituency, and it would balance the segments based on the constituency demographics. So it might be that like you're more likely to get, Sarah if you're door knocking in Basingstoke, whereas you're more likely to get someone else if you're door knocking somewhere else. That would be a sophistication a step further. But yeah, we've got the basics in line. But yeah, that would be really cool actually having it like constituency by constituency. And yeah, this is a great training tool because it's quite useful and the feedback is actually pretty good. Shreya?
Just out of curiosity, on the 7 segments, what was the data set that you used to build in the context of that?
So we just use the 7 segments that are available on the More in Common website, which we use for a lot of things now I think about it. But they're basically segments of the whole population, listed into 7, and it's usually like quite values led. You could use something else actually, if you wanted to, if Labour wanted to make a version of this, they might use their segments, which are not open. But there's something cool that could be done with this. So yeah, it's on the More in Common website. There's like 7.
Yeah, I was wondering whether you used Britain's Choice, the whole report, or whether it was just like a paragraph.
We just used the paragraph. Like we could have put more in actually. Now I think about it, but yeah, we just used the cool cartoons. Over there, Adam.
Yeah, number one, this is awesome, and I can almost guarantee if you bring this to like an academic researcher, they will want to run a field experiment with this immediately. But more importantly, or my question is essentially, having done a lot of door knocking and met a lot of assholes, is there a part of the tool that can be built in essentially to help deal with people who answer the door and they're just not in a very good mood?
That's interesting. So we could have proactive like tips popping up. That would be quite cool. At the moment, some people are definitely programmed to answer angrily. I don't come across very many of those. There was one that I was testing it earlier, and it was just someone was just like really silent, and all I got from the responses was just shakes head, closes door, looks angry. I was like, oh wow, this one isn't even speaking. So I think ChatGPT is being quite creative and like generating quite odd characters, which I didn't realize it would do. Like I was like, wow, there's like stage directions and everything. It's like a play, which is pretty cool. Any other questions before we move on to the next one? Okay, next up we have Council Minute Tracker.